Hey there, gang. Welcome back to Papa's Model Workshop. I'm Papa. This is my workshop. So I mentioned in the last video that we're kind of in the home stretch with this 1941 Chevy pickup truck for the Gaahleri World Creator Cup competition, and I was kind of debating back and forth whether I should go with this bed painted in this modeled type of fashion that I showed you, or should I go with putting the bed or making the bed out of these coffee stirrers, where I cut it and then I stain it with Minwax and install it. So ultimately, I think what I decided to do is to go with this bed right here. You know, I kept looking at this thinking, maybe I'll just go ahead and I'll show everybody how you do the coffee stirrers. I've actually done a video in the past where I did demonstrate that, and I don't remember the name of that video, but if you scroll back maybe about, I don't know, 8 or 10 months ago, I think it was actually on that 66 Chevy Fleetside pickup truck that I showed you in the last video. But in that video, yeah, I did show how I cut those coffee stirrers on the bandsaw and stained them and installed them. But ultimately, I kept looking at this and I was thinking, gee, I really kind of like the way this came out. So I'm going to go with it. I'm going to stick with this. And don't forget, when you do this, you have to do the underside as well. Okay, so I'm really very happy with the way this came out, and I think I'm going to stick with this, okay? For those of you who may have missed that video, this was done with a combination of Kaleido Lustrous Orange, Kaleido Brown, and I think I went with the Kaleido Buff here and there, okay, to give it that mottled type of appearance, okay? So that's what I'm going to go with, and I did the same on this. Actually, you know what I did on this? I shot this with a silver base, okay? And then I think I used the Kaleido Clear Brown on here. And then I took panel liner, that's what I'm trying to say. And I very delicately put some panel liner here and there to give it that little bit of a dark texture here and there to simulate the wood grain. So that's how I achieved that. Now, here are my pieces for the bed, okay? Now, what I have a tendency to do a lot of times is I will physically lay my pieces out, okay? So we've got the left and the right side of the bed, okay, respectively, left and right. And then on the front of the bed goes this panel, okay, up here, okay. So I have that laid out up here. And then this is the tailgate, okay, and I have that in the back here. I elected to stick with the clear teal color for the exterior of the bed. And the interior of the bed will be this clear amber color. I think, my opinion, this will be a very nice contrast between the clear teal and the clear amber. Okay, so that's how that will turn out. Now, one of the things I wanted to point out, and I'm aiming this really towards the newer builder, just getting into the hobby, okay? A lot of times you'll look at something like this and you'll say, well, which end goes where, okay? Does this go up against the cab, or is it flipped around like that? Sometimes you have to really look closely at your schematic, okay? So, for example, okay, let's take a look here. Okay. Here's your bed, okay? Now, right down in here, and I hope this is showing up on camera. It looks like there's a tiny little step down right there. Can you see that okay? All right? And that little step down, I hope this is in frame. Okay, that little step down represents this right here. Okay, you see that little step down? Okay? So that's how I know that this will go up against the cab, Okay, now what I did was, you know, if you're a follower of my channel, I paint all my pieces ahead of time. Okay, and when it comes time to glue your pieces together, I will just take my X-Acto knife and I will scrape off the paint where the glue surface is going to be. Okay, another thing that a lot of people ask me about is, how do you know which piece is, what's what, essentially. And essentially what I do, give you an example here, I will leave the part number attached to the parts. Okay, now in this particular case, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And I think all 4 of these parts are represented by part number 51. Okay, can you see that? All right, so that's one way. Now, the other thing is, a lot of people will say to me, well, if you do that, and you cut the piece of sprue off, you're going to be left with a mark like that. So that's why I don't like leaving the part attached to the sprue. Well, 2 reasons that I leave the sprue on. Number one, I just showed you, so you can indicate the parts number, okay? And the second thing is, it gives me a surface to kind of clamp onto. So let me bring this back again. Okay, so when I'm ready to paint, I can just clamp onto the surface like that. All right, and that's another reason why I leave the sprue and the piece attached. Okay, a lot of times I will use the helping hands, and those are 2 alligator clips. And again, you need something to attach to. All right, so again, that's just me. That's just my way of doing it. And then when you get up to a point where you clip that piece of sprue off and you're left with this, okay, you can simply come in. Now, I have a million of these acrylic markers in all different colors and so forth, okay? And I find that, well, you have 2 tips on the ones that I buy anyway, a very fine tip like that, okay? And on the other side, you have this, I think it's called a brush tip or something. I'm not sure exactly what the name of that tip is, but, I'll come in and I will just simply go like that, okay? And that takes care of that. You can also simply go back to your original color, okay? So if you need to touch up like an area like this, for example, okay? Now my base to this was a silver, all right? Because this was a clear teal. When you're using a clear, you want to start off with a metallic base. In this particular instance, I used Vallejo Chrome as my base. And where you are left with a little spot like that, okay, you can go right back to your original paint color and just touch it up, okay, with a fine brush. In this particular instance, this is likely going to sit below any visual access points. You're probably not even going to see that. So that's just my thinking, my way of doing things. There are many who do things a different way. Bear in mind that what I show you and what I do is not the one and only way of doing things, okay? I'm just sharing my way of doing it. It's just one more little piece of knowledge you can put in your pocket and decide, do I want to try it like that, or do I want to try something different, or do I want to experiment and do my own way? Now, that third option is probably the best way to go. Experiment and do things on your own. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, you know that I'm a dunderhead and I make mistakes all the time. Making mistakes are, it's the best way to learn, because you're going to remember it and you're going to say, I'm not going to do that again. And that's a learning process. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. And believe me, I've made plenty of mistakes, even just on this build, okay? I have had to shoot this clear amber probably, Oh, I think I had to strip this 3 or 4 times before I got it just the way I wanted. So don't let mistakes and boo-boos dampen your enthusiasm, okay? They are the best way to learn. And in fact, I'll tell you something, talking about touch-ups and mistakes, this is called Nick Pro. This is an acrylic ink, all right? And it's called Caribbean, but really it's hard to see because the bottle is so dark, but this is like a teal color. And in testing this on a touch-up area like this, for example, and I have used this to touch up in various areas on here, and this is almost a perfect match for the Kaleido Clear Teal. And I would not have come to realize that had I not made boo-boos. And then I came upon this and found that this is a perfect match for the Kaleido Clear Teal. So boo-boos are a good thing. Okay, so I'll tell you, I'm going to work on this, and I will show you in the next video what the results of all of that are. Okay, so let me quickly run over my sponsors before I let you go. Of course, we have Spray Gunner as our new sponsor, and there is your Papa's Model Workshop code right there. Okay, and we have Gaahleri. And there is your Gaahleri discount code right there, PPMW. In fact, there it is right there. Okay, is that in front? No, I'm pointing at it, and I've got the card in front of it. Duh. Okay, so there is your discount code right there for Gaahleri. Okay, and we also have a discount code on Amazon for you. All right, so, and here is the mailing address. Okay, if anybody wants to swap a shop card. And here is the email address right there, okay? And if you watched the last video, I showed you that Chevy Fleetside pickup truck. Well, there it is. This is the same truck that's on the shop card, okay? So I think that'll do it for now. Oh, by the way, I meant to show you this in the last video, and I forgot. I forgot because I'm a dunderhead, but you know that. You see this? I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. Okay, now if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you have seen me say that I really am a proponent for putting your parts aside in a separate container for a given thing that you're working on, okay? You can use a cup like this. I have smaller cups like this. These are actually mixing cups, okay, but they will serve the same purpose if you're putting small parts aside for a given area of your build, okay. And I have, some cups up there that are a little bit larger. The point that I'm trying to get to is I just picked this up at Hobby Lobby. I think this thing is great. This is like a silicone type of a material. Cleans up very nicely. And you can lay a painted part in here and really not worry about it getting contaminated. And I think this thing is just terrific. So I just recently got this at Hobby Lobby. Okay, and it's great. I mean, it's got a little spot here to put your stuff. In fact, I was hand painting some things the other day on here, and I was able to just take my brush while it was still wet with the paint and just put the opposite end with the brush side up and just have it there. It was nice and handy. So yeah, this thing is just terrific. I just wanted to pass that along to you. Hobby Lobby, I think these things are great. In fact, this is so nice. I think I'm going to get another one because you know that I have 2 workbenches down here. This is the assembly bench, and over that way is the paint bench. So I think I'm actually going to get a second one for the paint bench. So I just wanted to quickly share that with you. Okay, with that, I am going to end this up. So thanks again for tuning in. Next time we get together, I hope this is all done and I will be able to do a reveal with you. And then we will get started on the MK Model Works 69 GTO for the Autism Awareness group build, okay? So thanks for tuning in. I will see all of you in the next video.